Out here on a frosty but sunny winter morning. One of the prime jobs of winter is pruning. Today I'm tackling some of the fruit trees. This is an apple tree behind me, and so I'll show you some of the pruning techniques that I use. Now, in general, I'm in favour of summer pruning or late summer pruning rather than winter pruning, but the issue in summertime often is that you're so busy you don't get a chance to do it, and so it gets left to this time of the year when you have a little bit more time because there's not such production coming from the garden. Now, the main issue with an apple tree is that apples don't bear on this type of limb that is going vertical. They bear on horizontal growing branches, things that hang down naturally because the weight of the apples then bring those to grow down. So this type of vertical wood has to come off, and we encourage the growth of the horizontal wood to increase the apple crop. The lower section I can do nicely by hand, and with a curving branch like this that is leading out, I'll look for a bud that is pointing down and cut just above it. Working like that, I'll go around the tree as the first step, doing what's within my height range. Basically encouraging it to keep coming out. When you come across a vertical piece like that, I'm cutting that down very low to deter that from growing. Now, I wanted to bring you in close here and show you what not to cut off. This is the little branches that will bear the fruiting spurs, as they're called, that will actually bear the fruit and will flower. And you'll see them in here all over, these little things where the flowers will come and the fruit will set. So don't cut those off. If you do, you won't get any fruit. I bought some new secateurs this year. These are Cyclone, is the company. They have a very nice ergonomic feel. While they look a bit strange in their shape, they're very nice fit in your hand, very comfortable to work with, so enjoying using them. Now that I've gone around the lower level where I can reach, it's time to give it a haircut, to take the vertical high wood off that's going to the sky. And to do that, a pole shears allows me to keep my feet on the ground. This is a slow job, and fairly hard on the arms, particularly when you get a taller tree. So this is the tree, cut down to size, completed back with its haircut, and this tree bears lots and lots of fruit, beautiful big fruit. It's a really good tree. It's a Jonagold. This is an excellent example of what you shouldn't do. This tree is overloaded with fruit, and because I didn't cut it back sufficiently last year and then didn't support it when it had the fruit on it, when the wind came with the load of fruit and rain, it's broken branches in a terrible way. It's an absolute disaster. You see cracks here, cracks there, these branches hanging down, there's one over here and one at the back there that went completely onto the ground. This is a Satsuma plum. They do tend towards this type of splitting under the weight of a load, But I shouldn't have allowed it to happen. I should have used branches like this with a little bit extra length to support the weight of the fruit. And really it is my fault that this tree is like this. You get busy, you forget about what's happening on some of the fruit trees at times. So what I have to do is to cut these branches back. I basically have to take off everything that's split, and this one I think I can cut in here. Very hard piece of wood. Let's remove that broken branch. Now this one, because it's double split here, essentially I may as well remove this whole shoot off. So I'll do that from here, I think about there. Cut from below first. That doesn't rip. And then cut on the other side. Nice clean cut off. And that whole section comes out. Whoa. There's one in behind. Just to cut it off at the bottom, it's almost completely broken. So that looks considerably better now, but what I will do is shorten back the branches a little to reduce the weight coming off. So that has significantly reduced the spread of the tree, and it will mean there won't be so much weight. But I really need to come when it's got the fruit on next year and put those supports under it. Otherwise it's still liable in these places to split. And when it splits, it opens it to the potential of disease coming in and damaging it significantly. So that's one tree ready for springtime. My friend Roger here has come along to give me a hand with this pruning. It makes it a lot quicker and more interesting working together. Now, Roger, we've got this tree, which the story behind it is that it's a seedling and had been growing in a very awkward place, and I planted it here, and it's always been a very odd shaped tree because of the way it had been growing. So
you want to get it more balanced, is that the idea, John?
So what suggestions do you have? Where do we start on this absolute maze of a tree?
Well, I would start to remove some of the lowest branches.
I've been letting this one, the last couple of years, I've been letting this piece here grow, which comes
Do you get any fruit off this, John?
And it's a very nice apple too. It's not, of course, being a seedling, it's not like any other apple I've ever bought or tasted, and I quite enjoy eating it. It's not a big apple, it's a nice small apple, but very tasty.
So then I think we should leave this on in that case.
I'm thinking that maybe this might actually eventually become the tree as it gets bigger.
And the rest can go.
And my thought is maybe to take that branch out entirely.
Yes.
To make space for it, and just retain some of this for some crop in the interim, and let this become the tree over the next couple of years. This one can get up and take over, because this is more upright, that is a bit crazy.
So you only want a light pruning on this then, do you?
I think, yeah, just very light on that.
Okay.
And maybe I'll get the saw and cut that branch out.
Right.
Have a go. Go and plumb it.
Lovely. Yeah, that's good. I've got mine here, John, if you wanted to use mine. Yeah. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do.
Such an entanglement that it's a bit hard to know where to
Start first.
end.
But once you do begin, it's like a jigsaw, you know. The pieces gradually come together and you go, yes, yes, I think that's good. And you sort of work it out. As you go. You've got a big bit out there, John. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with seedlings, of course,
Yeah.
is you never know what you're getting, do you? But
No.
sometimes you can get something good and sometimes not good.
This one could be shortened a bit. Oops, it ain't. Yeah, well, I think that's not too bad.
Yeah, I think that's certainly
First
a lot
year
better than it
prune?
was.
How old would you say your seedling is, John?
Oh, look, it's okay because I don't know how old it was when I planted it,
God only knows.
but
I
it's
see.
been, it's in excess of 15 years.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty old, isn't it, for a
Yes.
seedling? God. Oh yes, yes, those. I was looking at them before and I thought maybe we should, after we've cleared the gangway a bit, probably just a bit low down, isn't it? Yeah.
It was great to get that pruning done, and it was good to have Roger's help. A little bit of labour exchange goes a long way. I wanted to show you this tree, which is an espaliered apple tree, against the back of this playhouse here, because if I was to go back in time and plant my orchard again, this is what I would do. I would plant all my fruit trees that it was appropriate to do so with espalier, because what this does for you is dramatically reduce the amount of pruning that you need to do, and also to bring it to a height level that is much easier to work with. Guiding or training the branches along wires means that they're going horizontal, and that slows the growth, it gives better fruiting, and it means you get less vertical that you have to cut off. Also, if you run your espalier flat like this, it means that you can easily mow between trees and you don't have to get under trees as much. It's very difficult, I find, to maintain the orchard because of that factor at the moment. Is getting under trees is quite a pest. So I would certainly recommend espalier to anybody that was starting out to plant your trees in this way. Also, they take a lot less space, so that you can actually get far more variety of trees, different types of trees in a smaller space, nice and compact, maintain them easily. Yes, there is more work in setting the process up with wires and posts, but once that's done, you're going to save a lot in the long term. So I definitely recommend espalier as the way to go.